Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where an officer falsely accused a woman of breaking a traffic rule and proceeded to illegally arrest her for a made-up reason. The officer will now face a hefty lawsuit. On October 28, 2023, an officer with the Bluefield Police Department observed a bus with a woman named Yolanda Elliott behind the wheel, allegedly ignoring a red traffic signal, which supposedly gave the officer reasonable suspicion to initiate a traffic stop. But the ordeal quickly escalated and took a turn for the worse, as you will see. The exchange was recorded on the officer's body cam. Let's review the footage.
You just run a stop sign? Stoplight?
No, it was green, sir.
It was red.
No, sir, my light was green because I pulled out right behind my bus.
Yeah, well, it was red because when we was getting ready to turn, our light was green, and we had to wait on your bus to get out of the middle of the road to go through it.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna need your license and the information to this bus, please.
Guys, I seen your hand go up, and I was like,
yeah, it was completely red.
What in the world?
Yeah, like the car in front of me tried to go, but they had to wait on you to get out of the middle of the intersection because our light was green.
Because that's why I seen my bus go, because we had just had the lights turned.
The bus might have been running it too. One in front of it. Might have been yellow.
Where's my license? And you don't have to bear with me. Okay, here it is. But yeah, my light was green. That's why I'd have never run a red light, especially right there.
It wasn't green. That's the thing. If it was green on the bridge, but when you went under it, it was completely red because it was our light was green, which means your light was red for a good 5 seconds. And because we had to wait on you to get out of the middle of the intersection before our bus came.
I'm so sorry because the light turned green because we stopped at the red light. It was green. It was red when we were sitting there at the red light.
Yeah.
I had to stop, and then the light turned green, and that's why we all went.
All right, give me a second.
Immediately, it's noticeable that the officer approaches the situation with a confrontational demeanor. According to protocol, as outlined in West Virginia Code Section 17C-3-4, an officer's role isn't to engage in debate with a civilian when it comes to this situation, but rather to collect their details and issue a citation for breaking the traffic rule if necessary. The statute clearly states any person violating the provisions of this section is guilty of a misdemeanor and, upon conviction thereof, shall be fined not more than $100. It's important to note that throughout the exchange, Mrs. Elliott consistently asserts that she drove through the intersection when the light was green. However, the officer continued to suggest that the traffic light was red, or at the very least, yellow when she proceeded. Watch the following footage carefully and note how the officer excessively escalates the situation, twisting the facts and turning a basic traffic stop into a major incident.
Look at me real quick. Look out that way. Kind of like, look out like this way. No, right here. See that orange, that yellow Mikey sign? Look right there. Hold on. 215 or 216, 212. Right down here real quick. Her pupils are really, really super small. She got back on a Yolanda Elliott. They think they're exempt from getting pulled over, but obviously her light was completely green. Which means her light was red, and she went through the middle of the intersection. We had to wait on her to get out of the intersection before our line could even move.
Oh. Your Elliott subject is license 2 points.
Hey Siri, call control.
Calling control. Monster County 911.
Hey, this is 16 from Bluefield.
Hey.
Hey, can I talk to our dispatcher, please?
Yeah, hang on just a second.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, this is Green over Bluefield. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, can you
Bluefield turn out with 16.
Can you run a triple I on that Yolanda Elliott for me, please? See if it's got anything on there. driving wise.
Come 10-4. Do you want her to give it back to you over the phone, or do you want her to
Yes.
give it to you over the radio?
Just over the phone.
All right.
Hey, just go up there and be like, hey, did he get your insurance card and registration card, and look at her eyes?
All right, now go down to the name, put in the last name.
I don't know, she had sunglasses on when I walked up there.
Yeah. Yeah, she just now put them on. She didn't have sunglasses on a minute ago.
I told her to take them off. I mean, they look more constricted.
At this point, it's crucial to note that the officer appears to misrepresent the situation to the arriving backup, possibly to prevent any scrutiny of his actions. Mrs. Elliott is seen initially with her sunglasses on, which she removes to look at the documents inside her vehicle. Contrarily, the officer alleges that she has just put them on, implying that her intention was to conceal her eyes. Such bizarre misrepresentation can be categorized as police misconduct, which is defined by the U.S. Department of Justice as a wrongdoing committed by a police officer. This wrongdoing can be a criminal act or a violation of departmental policies and procedures.
Yeah, when I looked at his, I made him look the same direction she was looking, and his are about a half a size, almost to a whole size bigger than hers is, or hers was. She's got a speeding ticket.
What'd you stop her for?
She ran a red light. We was sitting there, and there's a car in front of me, and then right before, our light turned green, and we couldn't pull out because she was coming through the middle of the intersection.
I just walked. It was up. Huh? He's like, I just walked. It was up.
They probably got drugs on him.
Huh?
They probably got dope on him.
I mean, the way she was talking was kind of like slow.
You mean do field sobriety on her? I mean, because she didn't have those sunglasses on until you pulled up. And
the sun ain't even out right here. It's right here.
Yeah, her pupils are more constricted than hers was.
Go ahead.
Look up a Yolanda Elliott in Cisco. See if we have anything for her.
Hey, Green.
Hey.
Stand by.
She's got a lot of things on there, but nothing for traffic.
Alright, so no DUIs or nothing like that? Any drugs? Okay. Alrighty. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
She's got a long history. Nothing DUI wise.
Everybody's getting off the books.
Bear in mind the update the officer received from dispatch confirming that Mrs. Elliott has a clean record with no previous traffic violations or any history of drug abuse. Despite this information, watch how it does not deter the officer from continuing to baselessly suspect that she may be under the influence of drugs. This simply goes to show the officer's tyrannical approach when it comes to dealing with innocent members of the public.
Miss Elliott, come here and talk to me for a minute. Why don't you turn and face this way for me, alright? Away from my son.
Okay.
Alright? Do you take any kind of medication whatsoever?
I do.
What do you take?
Well,
I want you to be honest with me, okay, when I ask you this.
during the day, I don't take none.
Okay.
At nighttime, I take Ambien and I take Percocet.
Okay. So, how long ago since you took the Percocets? Be honest with me.
I'm trying to think. I took it about 8:30 last night.
8:30 last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not worried about anything y'all can do. I mean, y'all need to do or anything like that.
Well, this is the issue I'm having is when I come up and talk to you, pupils are really, really constricted. Okay?
I didn't sleep good last night.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Sleep has nothing to do with your pupil size, okay?
Okay.
All right. What I feel like we should do to cause less trouble for the people on the bus, you probably should call somebody to let them come get the people off the bus real quick, because I'm going to run you through field sobriety test, okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to go from there, all right?
You want me to call my boss?
Call somebody,
Okay.
let them know you got a bus out here and you got to stop by the police. Well, what about this bus right here?
He's got to go. He's running another bus, so
Okay.
let me call my
All right,
boss
so
and see.
make it pretty quick so we can get on the road with these tests, okay?
A couple of things to note here. Firstly, it's generally understood that people certainly do not need to disclose their prescriptions to a law enforcement officer. The 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects an individual's zone of privacy. Individuals have an interest in avoiding disclosure of personal matters, including information about one's body. This underlines that the officer, by stating that she has to be completely honest, is possibly violating her 14th Amendment right, which collectively states, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Moreover, the officer has suggested to Mrs. Elliott, in an effort to gaslight her perhaps, that her pupil size is unrelated to lack of sleep. It is important to remember that Bluefield Police Department officers are not certified medical experts. On the topic of pupil size and its connection to sleep deprivation, Dr. Brandon Peters has explained, moreover, your pupil's overall size will shrink, perhaps reflecting fatigue in the task of maintaining the larger size. The muscles themselves may tire and the ability to keep the pupil open may fade.
What's this going to take? Let me tell my boss.
It's just going to take just a little while. We're going to walk over here. We're going to do some tests on this line, okay? Yeah, the Percocets. I mean, she said.
No. Okay, my boss is coming with me.
Okay. Is that your boss there?
Yeah.
You want to talk to him? You want to talk to him?
So he's coming.
All right,
so you
let's
tell
walk
me
over here
what
for a minute, okay? You got anything on you? In your pockets or anything?
No.
Anything in your other pockets? Turn your pocket,
Okay.
inside pocket. Okay. Oh, what's that?
Staple?
Okay, let me see what else you got in your pocket there. Alright, nothing else in there? Nope. Stick it back in your pocket there.
And I got money in my other pocket. Hold on, I'll show you that.
You got your purse in there with you, or you carry your purse with you?
No.
Okay. Got any of your property on this bus?
My lunch bag.
Okay. You got any medications inside of that lunch bag?
Yeah.
What kind of medications in there?
I got my B12 and my Proton.
Do you care if I take a look in it here in just a
No.
minute? Okay.
As seen in the footage, the officer inquires whether Mrs. Elliott would allow a search of her lunch bag, framing the request in a casual way. However, underlying this seemingly simple ask is the officer's attempt to convert an unfounded suspicion into what could be considered probable cause for an arrest. Now it's important to understand your rights so that you may be able to stop tyrannical officers such as this one from digging around in your personal property and violating your Fourth Amendment rights. The Fourth Amendment states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
Alright, let's walk up here on this line for me, okay?
Okay.
Alright. You gonna be able to do field sobriety in those boots?
Whatever you need me to do. If I need to take them off, I can.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you can walk in them,
I walk in
good.
them all the time.
Okay. Alright. So what I want you to do, okay? Well, that's alright. Stand like there, okay? Put your feet together, hands down by your side for me, okay? And just hands down by your side, just like this.
I've never done a field sobriety test.
Never?
Never.
Alright, well, there's a first for everything, okay?
Okay.
You can see the tip of this pen, right?
I can.
Alright, I want you to watch the tip of that pen with just your eyes only. Don't move your head, okay?
Okay.
Here, the officer starts the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, where an officer asks the accused to follow an object with their eyes and looks to see if there are any jerk movements of the eyeball, as common when one is intoxicated. Clearly, this was not needed in this situation, but the officer proceeds anyway.
Alright, same thing, okay? Watch the tip of the pen, just your eyes only. Don't move your head. Alright.
Next, the officer administers the Romberg balance test, where the individual is instructed to tilt their head back, close their eyes, and upon believing that 30 seconds have elapsed, to open their eyes and verbalize stop. Law enforcement typically observes for the amount and direction in which the suspect sways, the suspect's estimated passage of 30 seconds, eyelid tremors and/or body leg tremors, muscle tone, either more rigid or more flaccid than normal, any statements or unusual sounds made by the subject when performing the test, suspect's overall ability to follow instructions. One very important point to note is that this test has not been standardized by the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. This lack of standardization adds unpredictability and irregularity to the testing process. Any qualified DUI lawyer should therefore be able to attack the test in court.
When I tell you to begin, all right, I'm going to tell you to tilt your head back. You're going to tilt your head all the way back, okay?
Okay.
When you tilt your head back, you're going to close your eyes. When you close your eyes, I'm going to tell you to begin. All right, when I tell you to begin, I want you to estimate the passage of 30 seconds in your head.
Okay.
All right. Once you get to 30 seconds in your head, you're going to tilt your head back down and say stop. All right. And that's going to be into that part of that test. Okay.
Okay. Let me get it. Let me say this
go
again.
ahead. Yep.
I'm going to tilt my head back. Assume 30 seconds. Tilt my head back. Close my eyes. Assume 30 seconds. Then sit my head back up. Open my eyes and say stop.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and tilt your head back and close your eyes. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You can go ahead and take your sunglasses off. All right. Tilt your head back and close your eyes for me.
Okay.
All the way back. Go ahead and begin.
Stop.
All right. How long was that?
I'm going to say 30 seconds.
Did you say 30 seconds? All right. How'd you get to 30?
I counted.
How'd you count?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right. Cool. Good deal. That was 37 seconds. Oh, you're good. You're fine.
Was I right on it?
Well, not right on it, but yeah, not right on it, but yeah.
Just to be nosy.
All right.
After Mrs. Elliott clearly passes the first two tests, the officer still criticizes how she counted 37 seconds instead of 30. A very understandable mistake. The officer does not give up his pursuit to escalate this situation and decides to have her take another test, the finger-to-nose test. While performing this test, the officer will look for a number of clues that indicate intoxication. These include inability to follow instructions, swaying, eyelid body tremors, speaking or making sounds during the test, and failing to touch your finger to your nose. If you exhibit several of these clues, you could be arrested for driving under the influence.
Next thing we'll have you do is called the finger-to-nose test, okay? Like I said, you want to keep your feet together.
I heard about this one.
There you go. Well, what do you know about it? Kind of, sort of like that. You ain't going to put your arms out like an airplane, though. All right, but what I want you to do, I want you to make a fist and turn your palms towards me, down just like this. There you go. Take your pointer fingers and stick them straight out to the ground. All right, stand like that until I instruct you to do otherwise, okay?
All right.
When I tell you to begin, it's kind of similar like the last test we done, okay? You're going to tilt your head back, and I'm going to have you close your eyes.
Okay.
All right, when I instruct you to, imagine that the tip of my knuckle here is the tip of your nose, and obviously this is the tip of your finger, okay? Exactly like this. You're going to come up. If I tell you your right hand or your left hand, you're going to bring your right hand up, touch the tip of your nose, come back down immediately without me telling you to, okay? So if I say right hand, you'll come up, touch the tip of it, bring it straight back down without me telling you to.
Okay.
All right.
You say right hand and I touch my nose.
I'm gonna explain it to you as we go through it, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead and tilt your head back and close your eyes for me.
Okay.
Tilt your head back a little bit more. There you go. Left hand. Right hand. Left hand. Right hand. Right hand. Left hand. Okay. All right.
By now, even passing this third sobriety test hadn't convinced the officer of the sobriety of Mrs. Elliott, so he decided to put her through yet another test, the walk and turn. During the test, the officer looks for 7 indicators of impairment. A subject may be impaired if they begin before the instructions are finished, cannot keep balance while listening to the instructions, do not touch heel to toe, lose balance while turning, stop while walking to regain balance, take an incorrect number of steps, use arms to balance.
All right, what I want you to do, I want you to take 9 heel-to-toe steps on that line. I want you to turn, I want you to come back 9 heel-to-toe steps, okay? I want you to count your steps out loud for me, and I want you to watch the line while you walk. It's gonna look exactly like this. 1, 2, 3, and so on until you get to 9. Once you get to that 9th step, you're gonna leave your foot on the line, you'll come back 9 heel-to-toe steps. 1, 2, 3, and so on until you get to 9. I want you to turn in the same exact direction that I just turned, okay? Keep in mind, I want you to watch the line while you walk. Keep your hands down by your side. Count your steps out loud. Once you begin the test, don't stop until the test is completed. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay.
I think I do.
Go ahead, begin for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Fix arms up. Holding on to the side of her pants. Oh, Mrs. Oto steps offline on 8. All right. All right. Yeah. Is there? You want to get her personal items out of there? All right. So turn around and face this way for me, okay? You can stand right here and face this way. Face this way. Yep. All right. Put your feet together, hands down by your side for me, okay? Next test I'm gonna have you do is called the one-leg stand test, okay? What I want you to do, I want you to pick whichever foot you want to use. I want you to pick it up approximately 6 inches off the ground, keeping your foot parallel with the ground, okay? It's gonna look exactly like this. Do approximately 6 inches. Don't start until I tell you to.
Okay.
All right, it's going to approximately be 6 inches off the ground, parallel with the ground with your toe pointed out. I want you to look at the tip of your toe while you do this test, okay? I want you to count out loud for me. 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until I tell you to stop, okay? Keep in mind, I want you to watch the elevated foot. Count out loud for me. Keep both hands down by your side. Keep both legs straight. And don't stop the test until I say it's completed. You understand?
I think so.
All right.
You don't count. I'm just hold my leg out and you don't count. You just tell me to stop.
Yep, you just count out loud for me like I told you to, okay?
I count out loud?
Yep, like I told you to.
Okay.
All right, you ready to begin? Go ahead.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014, 1015, 1016, 1017, 1018, 1019, 1020.
Okay. 20 seconds. I heard 30. All right. Would you walk over here with me real quick, okay?
Mrs. Elliott experienced some challenges with the final 2 assessments, particularly the one-leg stand test. Under the supervision of a less overbearing officer, her difficulty could be considered reasonable, given that Mrs. Elliott is a 60-year-old woman who has disclosed to the officers that she is experiencing some sleep deprivation. Furthermore, considering that she successfully completed 4 out of the 6 sobriety tests administered, it seems fair to deduce that she is, in fact, sober. But the officer had other plans.
So what are you going to have in this bag? You got any of your medications in here? You care if my officer takes a look in there?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a bunch of junk in here.
All right, well, just lay that to the side and he'll go through it, okay?
Okay.
Just lay it to the side for me.
I'm about to freeze.
All right. So you said the last time you took the Percocets was at 8:30?
Last night, yeah.
You don't know when last night though?
Yeah, it was like about 8:30 last night. It was before I went to bed.
What time did you go to bed?
It was about 8:30.
What time? How long
But
did you
I
sleep?
didn't go to sleep. I was still awake at about...
You took the Ambien and didn't go to sleep?
No, I didn't go to sleep last night. I just couldn't go to sleep. I was tossing and turning.
Did you take any of it this morning?
No, I didn't take nothing this morning. I hadn't taken nothing.
You don't care if I look at
No, I don't care.
Why don't you do me a favor and just sit right here on this curb right here for me, okay?
Hey, I'm gonna come get you in a minute. I need you to drive Cliff's truck for me, not far.
You the boss man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she is possibly going to jail for DUI.
Really?
Yeah. So she takes Ambien and Percocets, and she said she took the Percocets last night. She said she told me 8:30 first, and then she said that she couldn't. Basically, she was like around late last night. So I'm gonna talk to my sergeant and see what he wants to do. We're pretty short-staffed today. So there might be a chance that she gets to go home today. Oh, let me look. Oh, you're good. Come on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There's a good chance that she might go home today, and she'll have a warrant for DUI. But I'm gonna see if she'll go do a blood draw at the hospital. Okay. We'll get her blood, and then we'll have that sent off to State Police Crime Line.
Two critical points must be highlighted here. One, the confidentiality of medical records is a cornerstone of privacy protection, with West Virginia law specifically restricting access to an individual's medical records without their explicit written permission. By revealing details of Mrs. Elliott's medication to her employer, the officer has breached his statute and infringed upon her rights. Two, the officer has further manipulated the truth by informing Mrs. Elliott's employer that she was dishonest about the timing of her medication intake. This misrepresentation of the facts constitutes police misconduct once again, as such unfounded allegations could have serious negative impacts on Mrs. Elliott's personal and professional life. This unfortunately came to be true, as you will soon learn.
You're going to be placed under arrest for DUI, okay?
Do what?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to give you an option. We can go to the hospital, and we can have a blood draw. You can consent to a blood draw?
Yep.
And we'll go ahead and do that?
I can do that.
Okay. All right, cool
not
deal.
a problem.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Listen to me. You cannot. You have a job to drive people around for a living, right? You cannot take Percocets and Ambien and drive.
Then why did the doctor put it on my CDL?
The doctors do that. I don't know why they do that. It's not legal for you to drive. They should
At
tell
nighttime?
you should not drive, period, once you've taken that medication.
For how long?
It takes a while for that medication to come out of your system.
Yeah, because I just had my CDL done last month.
Yeah. Did you do a drug test then?
Yeah. I can show you my CDL. I have nothing to hide from y'all. I mean, I've never done drugs.
What come up on the drug test? Where'd you do the test at?
Dr. John, where did I do my CDL? CDL. What's his name? Princeton.
That's fine.
CDL. What did I do? Where did I doctor?
Drug test, physical. Did she do a drug test?
Neary.
Okay.
He done all of it,
okay.
And
well, you want to take your sunglasses off, put them in your pocket so they don't drop.
And he did every bit of it, and everything's listed on my CDL, and they had to get my family doctor to come back and sign off on it.
Yeah, well, they dropped the ball because you ain't supposed to take it and drive. Okay. So go ahead and turn around for me.
Please don't put handcuffs on me.
I'm gonna have to. Right, so go ahead and turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Mrs. Elliott was ultimately subjected to a DUI arrest, even though her blood test came back negative for both alcohol and any intoxicating substance. At the time of the arrest, she possessed and currently still maintains a valid commercial driver's license, a CDL. Subsequently, due to a lack of evidence, the DUI charge was dropped. However, she was still required to pay a fine for the traffic violation. The most distressing outcome for Mrs. Elliott was the loss of her employment, a decision that was heavily influenced by the officer's comments to her employer, leaving her to deal with the repercussions of the officer's premature judgment of her guilt. In response to these events, Mrs. Elliott is now gearing up to initiate legal action against the Bluefield Police Department, claiming wrongful arrest and seeking compensation for damages incurred. Additionally, she plans to sue the city for her unjust dismissal from her job. No further updates have been made as of the date of this recording. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter